Hello, Twisted Humans.
Do you find yourself wanting to know more about the latest murder, conspiracy, cult, or haunting?
Then this is the podcast for you. I'm Alecia.
And I'm Sierra, and this is Twisted and Uncorked. Well, welcome, friends. I almost said patrons. You're not all patrons, but should be. To episode 67.
Yes.
So excited to have left behind the serial killer. I guess that was 2 weeks ago now.
But it's
man,
your
was a
first
rough one.
episode since then, so makes sense.
Right.
It was a rough one.
That was not fun. And I had heard, other people cover him before, but man, it was just a mess.
We went balls to the walls in depth. You're welcome.
Yeah.
And just a reminder, for whatever reason you're listening backwards, we just covered John Edward Robinson, internet's first serial killer. I shouldn't have made him sound cool. I don't know. I'm enticing the people to go and listen. Also, I didn't make myself sound very cool, but I never do. You guys love us for our uncoolness. So.
Speaking of making yourself sound cool, we were just talking before this about some Canada-America things, and I have to say, one of the things that I hear the most about how Canada is so much better than America is the fact that Canada has free healthcare. And I know it's not completely free. We've talked about that before, but what I assumed happened is as long as you're employed, you have healthcare. And just a second ago, you alluded to that's not the case.
Correct. So, it's free healthcare. So, like, if you need to go to the hospital and get an x-ray done, for example, when I went to the hospital for my breathing, I got a chest x-ray. Like, I didn't pay for anything. Whereas in the US, that would be a different story. And it's mostly extended healthcare. So, like, if I need to go and get a prescription, as opposed to my anxiety medication costing me $150, it would only cost me, like, $10. Because the company that you work for pays into your extended benefits. That also includes, like, your eyes and your teeth. So if I had to go to the dentist or to the eye doctor. Yeah, so it's called extended medical here. So most employers offer it, some don't. The one that I work for pays 50% of it, and I pay the other 50%. So it comes off my paycheck. So it's like $150 a month.
So only emergency room visits are free then?
Correct.
Like emergencies.
Or like going to the doctor. Like if you needed to make an appointment with your doctor for like a rash.
That's completely free.
That would also be free, yes. But the prescription that you might need for the rash, if you didn't have extended medical, you would just have to pay the cost of whatever that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We're learning new things.
Yeah, that's not...
I realize now I've never been
here.
clear, because we were talking about inhalers, and you're like, Jesse's inhaler was like $80. And I'm like, yeah, when I didn't have healthcare, when I was in between jobs, and on probation at this job, I had to pay full price for my inhalers. So
right,
it's nice if your employer pays it, because then it's like, some of my prescriptions are totally free, so that's nice.
I mean, that's not super different from here, other than the fact that emergency room visits and doctor visits are not free, but in America, most jobs have insurance.
For like if you had to get your eyes checked or something, or needed glasses.
You have to pay for it monthly, but it's way cheaper if you have that job. So yeah, that's so strange.
We had to watch I think it's Michael Myers, the guy that does documentaries. No, that's a serial killer. A fictional serial killer. What's his name? I can't think of it. He did the documentary Bowling for Columbine, and he did another one that was about like American healthcare, and it made me want to cry. It was like this lady that had like to go for cancer treatments, and she like couldn't afford them, or she couldn't pay her rent that month. And I was like, this is so
Michael Moore.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jesse,
I feel like those documentaries would be more interesting, though, if Michael Myers did them, just saying.
Maybe. Jesse has like a medically small esophagus, He has a small throat, but he has like medically his esophagus is too small, so he chokes a lot if he doesn't like super chew his food. And we had to
Or
pay
take small bites.
$4,000. We had to pay $4,000 for him to get a piece of chicken removed from his esophagus. So when he didn't have insurance, and he's a veteran.
Wow, that's garbage. I feel like you guys should at least. I mean, I feel like if you like, quote unquote, serve your country, I think you should be able to get a piece of chicken removed without dying, without paying $4,000.
Well, there is VA insurance, veterans insurance, but it's not all free, and it's not easy to sign up for. And at the time, he hadn't signed up for it because it was so complicated to sign up for, and I don't know how much they would have covered anyway. Most of the time, you have to go to a VA facility to do it, and they're not ever in a convenient location. So, yeah. Anyway, yay, America.
And apparently, yay, Canada. The grass isn't always greener, guys.
Yeah.
But it is really green in BC, so when Sierra comes and visits me at some point in life, she'll see that.
You know what else it is? It's really green today because this week Mercury is no longer in retrograde when this comes out. So thank the Lord.
We survived. Yeah. It's a term of speech, guys. We're excited.
Is it like torrentially raining in Canada?
It does most of the time here, but it's not right now. It's actually really nice out.
I moved to Alabama on the 11th, right?
Yes.
Our power has gone out 3 times since I moved here.
What?
It has been storming on and off. We're recording this way ahead of time, so it's like the 25th right now. But it has been storming since I moved here. And that's not super common for this part of Alabama. And so I decided today when I was fucking at the grocery store and it was so stormy and rainy and gray at like 10 o'clock this morning and my umbrella got flipped inside out because of the wind. I decided that Mercury retrograde is fucking with America's weather control machine. And it's just shitting on us, okay? That's what I decided. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if America has a weather control machine.
Some sort of crazy storm energy to Alabama when she moved.
I know it's not just Alabama because, I've been listening to Beach Too Sandy, and that's why we drink. Seriously Sinister, Sinisterhood, all of them are talking about the ridiculous storms right now. So this is happening in California, Ohio, Oklahoma, Texas. I think that this is accidentally government-controlled weather. Conspiracy, new idea.
Or global warming?
Well, global warming doesn't exist.
Apparently. I don't know if you heard the sarcasm in Sierra's voice. We are 100% pro-nature. We know that she's upset, okay?
Yeah, if you're not listening backwards, we didn't even have to explain that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
a lot of you do. It's weird. Like, I'll get messages and I'm
weird.
like, do you just started listening? How are you? Either you listen to 20 episodes a day or...
Listen, I've done those things before.
That's true. But yeah, that's scary. I mean, the weather here has been really windy. Like, we've had a lot of wind storms. But other than that, it's normal, like, spring weather. Actually, no, I take that back. It was rainy and shitty until, like, a week ago. And it's normally much nicer in May by now.
Yeah.
So maybe the weather machine is off.
I think, they tell you not to buy electronics during Mercury retrograde because it fucks with them. I think Mercury retrograde fucked with the weather machine that America is hiding.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That also controls the weather in Canada.
I mean, you're really, really close to the border.
It's true.
So
I am.
Yeah.
I'm basically hugging the border.
Yeah.
That's creepy, though. I don't like that for you. I apologize.
This week in real life, when this comes out, Mercury retrograde is over. Hopefully the storms are over as well. But since I had to experience my umbrella being turned inside out today, which was just the worst, my fun fact today is about umbrellas.
I'm just picturing it, and I love it so much. I'm sorry, I love you. Tell me your fun fact about umbrellas.
I am going back to my old Crazy Laws by Dick Hyman book from
That's
like...
an unfortunate fucking name. Can
I
we just
don't think we ever
pause
talked
for a
about
quick
that.
second here? I don't think we've ever talked about that either. What?
That is a really unfortunate name.
Dick Hyman. Sir. Why? Like, you couldn't have gone by, like, Richard Hyman? At least that's slightly better.
Yeah.
God
poor
damn
guy.
it. Oh. He
But
got made fun of in school, you know
he
it.
definitely did. This book was published in like 76. But
Okay.
anyway, at the time in New York City, it was against the law to open or close an umbrella in the presence of a horse. I don't know
Why?
if it like scared them and they're like, be fucking nicer to the horses or what. I don't know. You think that movement would scare a horse, maybe? Maybe the sound sounded like a whip, so it'd make the horse like run.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Because you know, like those powered ones that are like, like, and it goes like that was a gun noise. I don't know what I'm trying to do, but you know what I mean, right? When they
I
just like
do,
shoot
I do.
out.
Yeah.
There's like, I don't think there's air inside of it. I don't know what makes those
No.
things go.
I think it's like spring loaded or something.
Ah, that makes more sense. Maybe that's so funny. So
Because-
horses just scare easily too, though, if we're being honest.
Right. But also, contrary to popular belief, you're not supposed to actually whip the horse. You whip the whip next to the horse. The sound is what makes them go. You're not supposed to actually hit the horse with the whip. You're supposed to just make it go, you know, next to them. They hear it and it makes them go. So I think I'm onto something. I didn't Google why, and the book doesn't say. So
That's what makes it more interesting. And
Exactly.
then one of our listeners is going to message us and be like, "You guys are stupid.
let me know. Am I
This is
stupid or
why
am I a genius?
Horses are a thing."
Horses are
also-
a thing? Did you just say horses are a thing because we're stupid? I
No.
don't think we're in charge of why horses are a thing.
I
But
meant why
I'd like to
horses
have
are
that much
scared by
power.
umbrellas.
Anyway, moving on. What is your fun
I'm
fact?
tired. I was scrolling through my fun fact bookmarked page, and I found a thing about horses. So I was just
yay.
trying to see if it was interesting while you were finishing your sentence, and then
Is it?
I don't know. I just
Well,
said
say it.
horses
You
are a
gotta say
thing
it
and
now.
embarrassed myself. So
Oh my gosh.
there are more than 500,000 thoroughbred racehorses throughout the world today. I would like to point out that this article wrote word today instead of worlds, but I know it's love. And practically all of them come from a group of just 28 different types of horses that were bred in the 1700s and the 1800s, because, you know, that's how we got around back in the day. More than 95% of all male why can't I speak English? Male thoroughbreds are descended from a single stallion named Darley Abram, born in 1700.
Does
So
it say
all
where?
male horses come from this one, like, it's like, that's insane. The family tree of horses. I can't
That's
wrap
crazy.
my brain around that, right?
Well, also Jesse's uncle used to racehorses.
Really?
So I'm like, where are these
I was
horses
gonna be
now?
like, does he know Darley? Because and then I was like,
Maybe.
no, that was 1700,
1700s.
Alecia. Jesse's family looks great for their age.
Right? Vampires.
It's also crazy to think about horses, like domesticated horses, being around for that long. But it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, horses have always been very good tools. Even in,
I'm
like,
gonna draw a horse family tree.
the, like, you know, the Trojan horse, right? Wasn't that in, like, 15?
Like BCE? Yeah. We gotta look it up. 1184 BC.
Okay. So that's like not, that's like when they say BC, they mean BCE.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's like before our time, quote unquote, you know?
Yeah. So more impressive than the 1700s is what we're trying to say.
Definitely. Horses have been
Also-
around for a really long fucking time.
Listen, I'm the one that decided on this delicious sangria and then fucking failed at making it.
You did do that. Yeah, our sangria. So we know that last week we weren't super fond of the super cheap wine that we found. What was it even called?
California Roots Rosé.
Yeah. What do you mean speak for myself? You gave it a 6.5.
No, I mean speak for yourself in the sense that mine wasn't $5.
Oh.
It tasted like it was $5. No, like it wasn't for us. We shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
It might be for somebody else.
Right.
But it was
were not
very
fond.
dry and did not have a lot of flavor, we felt.
So Alicia's idea to fix it, and I'm not blaming you or anything, by the way, but it was your idea, so I want to give you credit, was to turn it
for
into
failing
a slushie
at my own
of
drink.
types. Oh my god, you totally failed. Did you put any fruit in there?
I did.
Why is it so clear?
I put so much fruit in it. It's not clear. It's like straight pink.
What fruit did you put in there?
I put watermelon and strawberries.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to do like blueberries and
I didn't
blackberries.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Alicia failed. She misunderstood the assignment.
I was a bartender
to make it better, the idea was to add fruit and make it a slushie. Add frozen fruit and make it into a slushie. So what I did was I got
Yours is beautiful.
Thank you. My frozen fruit was blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries. They were frozen in the freezer. I also put my wine into a little plastic baggie and put it in the freezer for a while. And it doesn't freeze. It just turns into like...
and I didn't do that.
I did. It doesn't freeze. It just turns into like a little bit of a slush. But then I put just straight up frozen, hard as a rock, right out of the freezer, fruit in with it, and turned it into like a slush. So that was the idea. Also, with this idea, you don't have to use the fruits that we used. You can use whatever fruit you want. You can, if you have frozen peaches, throw some of those in there. If you have, whatever you have, make your sangria out of just frozen fruit and wine.
It's a warm weather wine slushie. Mm-hmm. Who doesn't want that?
Correct. What do you rate this drink?
Other than it not being a slushie because I colossally failed, it's still really good.
That's good.
So I'm gonna give it like I think we rated the wine like a 6.5. I think I'm gonna give this like an 8.
Oh, good.
I think I've improved it a whole lot.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to 7. I'm not gonna go all the way up. It's not bad. It's just I can still taste the wine, and I don't like the wine. It's already given me a headache. Somehow it's too sweet, even though it's super dry. I don't know what it is about this wine. I'm just confusing. I don't love it. Yeah, it gives you like that hangover headache before you even finish it.
I think it's the heavy sulfites in the cheap wine. But yes, I know what you're talking about. When you smell it and you get a headache before you've even had any of it.
Right.
I mean, a lot of frosé recipes call for sugar, though, and I didn't do that because we were using fresh fruit or like honey. Mm-hmm. Could have done that too.
Yeah, I didn't put any sugar in mine. I did make it and then drink it. I didn't like the taste, so I squeezed a whole bunch of lime juice into it. Ooh. And it's way better with the lime juice. So if you don't like the taste of yours, maybe try adding some lime.
Solid recommendation.
Before we get into my conspiracy episode today, we do have to take a really quick break to hear a promo from Horror House.
Oh, we love Dom. Dom's a good guy. Go check him out.
Yes, definitely. Listen to this promo, go subscribe, and then come back and listen to the rest of my conspiracy episode. All right. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. This is a requested conspiracy.
Oh, okay.
So, here we go. For new listeners who might not know, before Alecia and I got together and created this amazing podcast together, I was doing a different podcast called Basic Murder Babes with my friend Kelsey. And one of the episodes that I did on the regular feed for that podcast was the story of the Jameson family, who mysteriously died in Oklahoma. I covered that story as part of the line of tragedy which is the 35th degree latitude line on Earth.
Okay.
If you want to go and listen to that episode, it's episode 48, but don't run off too soon because I'm going to recap it right now. First, there is a group of people who believe that this kind of supernatural conspiracy exists, that mysterious tragedies are more likely to happen on the 35th degree latitude line. And because of that episode, I had a listener request that I cover more about this conspiracy, about the line of tragedy.
I've never heard this, and I'm really excited.
I am
Like,
really
I heard
excited.
you cover it on Basic Murder Babes, but I have no idea what you're continuing with.
Yes. So for this episode, I'm going to do a sort of shallow dive compilation on each of the creepy cases that I know of that happened on the line of tragedy. Starting with a recap of the Jameson family.
They invent the alcohol.
No.
It was a valid question.
It was, but this Jameson family was alive not too long ago.
Oh, okay. Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah. On October 8th, 2009, Bobby Jameson, 44, his wife, Sherilyn Jameson, 40, and their daughter, Madison, 6, left their home to go check out a 40-acre plot of land that they were interested in purchasing. They never returned home.
No.
The whole family had disappeared, but their truck was found just a few days later with their malnourished dog, who did live, by the way.
Oh,
Dog
thank
lived.
God. Okay, it's like, you monster, you didn't warn me.
The malnourished dog, the Jamesons' wallets, their IDs, their cell phones, and $32,000 in cash were in their truck. The area near the truck was searched immediately and extensively, but the Jamesons' bodies were not found for 4 years.
Oh.
When they were finally found, their bodies were less than 3 miles away from where that truck was originally, and they should have been found all those years ago if they were there at the time. But some people believe that they were placed there later. When they were found, their bodies were heavily decomposed, mostly just bones, and the 3 of them were all laying side by side, straight in a row, face down.
Ew, I don't like that.
A cause of death could not be determined. There were many different theories about what may have happened, but they were all quickly debunked. Some said that they died of exposure from being lost in the woods, but their bodies were all in the same amount of decomposed, laying in a straight line. Exposure doesn't usually cause people to die all at exactly the same time.
Exactly.
Some thought that it was... Right. Some thought that maybe it was a murder-suicide, since Sherilyn had been diagnosed bipolar, and one of the family's registered guns were missing. But if either of the parents had killed themselves, the gun should have been under their body, and it was never found. Another theory was that they were murdered by Bobby's dad, who Bobby had recently been in an argument with over business matters. But Bobby's dad had an alibi. He was sick and at the hospital that day. Another theory, brought up by a close family friend, is that they were murdered by a cult or racist secret society, as Sherilyn was Native American, but there's no actual evidence that alludes to this. And then the most well-liked theory by people on the internet is that this was a drug deal gone wrong. Nothing to worry about. But if that were the case...
Why is that most liked? Were they into drugs? Like,
No,
are they affiliated
because they had-
with the drug world?
So the part of Oklahoma that they were in, which is Eufaula, is where they're from, was known to be running rampant with drugs.
Gotcha.
And also they had $32,000 in cash.
Yeah.
But
they were
if
going
it
to buy
were-
land.
Exactly. And if it were a drug deal gone wrong, the money probably would have been sold. What drug
Right?
people leave $32,000? Also, there was again, no proof of drugs in the home or in
Like,
their
I'm
cars
surprised
or
that
anything.
$32,000 made it to the police precinct. Like, somebody didn't
Yeah.
try and pocket that on the way? Come
Right.
on.
That's a lot of money.
Right? We're bad people, but we're poor. So, I mean.
Yeah. Looking back at the family's lives in the days before their disappearance, some interesting things stick out enough that people keep reporting on it. Number 1, Sherilyn has purchased a quote-unquote witch's Bible, which is often misinterpreted as a satanic Bible in reports.
Okay. Did she take them from mine and Sierra's bookshelves?
Exactly. Some people call it a witch's Bible. Some people call it a satanic Bible. It's literally like, there's a picture of it somewhere. I can't remember which source. One of my sources in the show notes has the picture of it. But it's a Wiccan something or other. Like a Wiccan how-to book, basically. Like, it's not a thing that all witches have, first of all. It's specifically for Wiccans. And it's definitely not a satanic Bible. Fucking Wiccans do not even believe in Satan. Thank you very much.
I know. I was just being cheeky.
Oh,
and
no.
we will post a picture.
Yeah, it's not you. It's all of these people reporting on it that drive me crazy.
No, I mean, like, when I said, did you steal it from one of our shelves? Because everybody likes to bad talk witches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, also, this did happen in 2009, so there wasn't very much information on, witches, I guess. Like, nobody cared to learn.
Wasn't as evolved as it is today.
Right. Not only is a witch's Bible not the same as a satanic Bible, neither is any of them a bad thing to have. On top of all of that, Sherilyn's best friend said that she also had this same book, and they bought them together as a joke because, they like witches and shit.
That's so wholesome.
I know. That's like me dying mysteriously, people finding all these books, and you're like, that's not even anything.
I have the same
Stop
one.
looking at the books.
We bought it together. Stop it.
Yeah.
We bought it at Crystals and Curiosities. It's fine.
So, number 2, the Jamesons allegedly told their pastor that little Madison was talking to ghosts in the house. Shortly after this, Bobby asked the pastor if he knew of any special bullets that could be used for shooting ghosts.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm. Bobby then also did purchase a satanic Bible that he planned to use to exorcise the home with, according to some sources. First of all, I don't know why you would use a satanic Bible to exorcise a home.
It seems a little counterintuitive in popular belief. Yeah.
But the satanic, there's no pictures of the satanic Bible. And also, this is just things that the sources said.
Speculation.
Maybe some people were saying, oh no, the reason there was a witch's satanic Bible is because they were going to exorcise the home. I don't know.
I'm going to go on record to say that we're going to put a witch's Bible on a t-shirt at some point, because why the fuck not?
I don't understand human beings when they're like, it's a witch's Bible. Witches don't like the word Bible, actually.
I know, that's why it's funny.
Well, I mean, some do. There are Christian witches. But
they can have a little...
they don't have a witch's Bible.
A little third eye on it and a little planchette. It'll be so cute. Are you kidding me?
That just sounds like a book of shadows, but we can call it Bible.
Ironically. Also, did he hang out with the Winchester brothers to get these Bible or this bullet shooting ghost things?
He asked his pastor. He's like, I need silver bullets or something. That's werewolves, not ghosts. But anyway.
Yeah, he's misinformed in his research. But
yes,
okay.
Yes. Number 3 weird thing. There was graffiti that was spray painted on a storage unit that they kept on their property in the backyard. And the spray paint said, 3 cats killed here to date. Witches don't like their black cats killed. So this could have been the bipolar disorder that Sherilyn was, diagnosed with. This could have been her and her friend joking around like, neighbors, watch out, I just bought a witch's Bible. I'm a witch now. Don't fucking kill my cats. Or this could have been some fucking teenagers like, ooh, that lady's creepy. Let me spray paint on her thing. Like, it was literally spray paint.
You know what? I aspire to be the creepy woman in a neighborhood, so...
Same. Yeah.
If you're gonna spray paint something weird outside my house, I guess that's fine. But not in the midst of a possible murder, mysterious death.
Yeah. So, number 4, this is the last thing. There was a home security camera that recorded the last few minutes before the Jamisons left their home for the last time. Bobby and Sherilyn were seen on the video packing up their car, but the way that they were moving was described as like zombies or in a trance-like state. They didn't seem to be talking to each other at all. They moved things into their car and then sometimes those same things out of their car and all the way back to the house, then all the way back to their car again. It was super creepy.
That's weird.
Yeah. And that's another reason why people were suspecting drugs. They're like, they look like they're on drugs. But also they kind of just look like they're fucking possessed.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's exactly what I was thinking.
To this day, this case of the Jamison family is unsolved. One theory that was never brought up is the shared madness theory that we've talked about recently. But even in that situation, like, how did they die? Like, the moving of stuff into the car, in and out, yeah, that seems like a weird shared madness folie à deux thing. But,
and
like,
if we proved anything with the
die?
Erickson twins, they're bionic. So this is really the opposite problem.
How? Well, I don't know how, but I do know where. And that is right outside of Eufaula, Oklahoma, on the 35th degree latitude line. The same area where another truck of another missing Native American was found. In 2013, the same year that the Jamisons' bodies were found, this is 4 years after they've gone missing, Tommy Raymond Eastip, 30, went missing when he set out for a lake trip on 4th of July weekend. His truck was found abandoned in the woods shortly after, all locked up. 4 years later, in 2017, his skeletal remains were found in the area where his truck was originally found all those years ago. Like, almost identical.
Don't drive here! Oh!
Yeah. This case has significantly less information than the Jamison family murders, but where the Jamison family's case is described as mysterious death of, even though I think it's safe to say we think it's a murder, Tommy's case is described by police as an unsolved homicide. They haven't told us what happened, but they have told us it is a homicide. He did not do this to himself, and someone somewhere knows something.
So is this like a creepy MO, and they're like, oh, conspiracy theorists are going to think that it's just along this line that this happens?
Well, no, they're not all that way. Just those two are that exact, same weirdness. But all of them are on the 35th degree latitude line. The next case I'm covering, again, still on the 35th degree latitude line, is another one in Oklahoma. Back in 2009, this is the same year that the Jamisons first went missing, in a city called Anadarko, Oklahoma, Reverend Carol Daniels, 61, was discovered deceased in her church. She had just arrived there that morning at 10 a.m. and was discovered by police at noon when a couple informed them that the church doors were locked and no one would come to the door.
An orb just went by your face. Sorry.
Really?
I apologize for that noise, but I'm so upset right now. I watched it come from behind your board and across your face, like...
This way?
Mm-hmm. Very slowly. I'm really upset.
Anyway.
Yikes. I will,
this is a scary one to talk about.
Yeah, I know. Now I'm spooked out. I'm sorry.
Man, when you hear what I'm about to say, it's going to be really scary now.
Don't want to. Okay.
Carol Daniels had just arrived there that morning at 10 a.m. and was discovered by police at noon when a couple informed them that the church doors were locked and no one would come to the door. Carol was found sprawled out in a crucifix or cross position, legs straight down, arms out to her sides.
Oh, no!
She was nude, lying in a puddle of her own blood.
Oh, poor
She had been stabbed so many times in the neck area that she was nearly decapitated, and her breasts had been mutilated. Her hair was burned off, her scalp singed, and she was covered in a chemical substance that was probably meant to help either burn the entire body or clean up any DNA that was left. And Reverend Carol Daniels, if you are with us right now, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
I hope you didn't suffer.
I hope it was over quickly. Yeah. Oh, man. I'm crying. If you guys have listened to the show for a while, you know that Sierra's given me this weird bit of hers where we both cry when we get really freaked out now. So.
Yeah.
And we cry when we're sad. It's very confusing, I know.
And when we're happy and when we're mad.
Yeah.
We cry a lot.
Yeah, it's fine.
The county district attorney was quoted as saying, "I've prosecuted over 50 murders, and this is the most horrific crime I have ever witnessed."
Oh my God, no kidding.
This case is also technically unsolved.
God damn it.
Though police don't seem to be actively investigating it anymore, there was a long period of no evidence and no leads in the case until a known drug user came forward in 2015 and said she knew who committed the crime. And it was 2 people, but she only had the actual name of one of them. It was all hearsay, and just 2 days after this quote-unquote witness came forward, she died of a drug overdose.
Oh, I hate it when that stuff happens.
Yeah, she couldn't be used as, like, an actual witness or anything. The person who she accused was Denise K. Cooper, who also went by Darnell Cooper, who has been called she in most reports, so I believe they were born a woman, but going by Darnell Cooper later in life, I don't want to assume, so I'm going to call them they. They lived in Anadarko, and they were known to police for having been arrested in the past for assault and battery with a deadly weapon, and then also for selling meth. Prosecutors went before a grand jury to charge Cooper, at the time 55, with the crime in 2017, but they had died earlier that same year from cancer. There was no known evidence presented against them, except for 2 other witnesses that the prosecution called to testify, but the witnesses wouldn't talk. They, claimed Fifth Amendment. They were like, no, I'm not snitching, dead or alive. I'm not snitching on them.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Allegedly, prosecution tried to paint the picture as a robbery gone wrong, but like I said, it's still technically unsolved.
And in my experience, other than heirlooms, there's not a lot to steal at churches.
Yeah, also, I find it really convenient.
They can't keep chalking it up to a robbery gone wrong, okay? It's not always a robbery gone wrong.
Yeah, and I find it really convenient that the person that they decide to accuse is a person who is no longer alive and can't defend themselves. Mm-hmm. So, fuck that. I'm not about that. Unless you have, proof,
a
DNA,
trans or
anything.
A non-binary person
right.
as well in a religious community that's not necessarily accepting of that. So,
yeah.
Boo. I don't like it.
Yep. So, the last 35th degree latitude case in Oklahoma.
Oh, shit.
Don't get too excited. There's more. This is just the last one in Oklahoma.
No, I'm excited. I was sad when you said that. I was like, oh.
Yeah. The last one in Oklahoma I want to mention is the Oklahoma City bombing, which was perpetrated by Timothy McVeigh in 1995. This killed 168 people. We don't talk much about terrorist activity here because it's a little too heavy, but as a quick recap for those who don't know, Timothy McVeigh was a veteran who was becoming increasingly frustrated with the government. His opinions were that there was too much government intervention in American lives. He thought that freedoms were being taken away, and he wanted to fight back against that. One of the freedoms being taken away that he was so upset by was the siege on the Waco, Texas cult, the Branch Davidians, led by cult leader David Koresh. This was a weird time in history for a lot of people. Marcus Wesson, who we talked about in one episode, another
Episode 11.
cult. Yeah, he was also triggered, basically, by the siege on Waco, Texas. David Koresh. You know, it put him in a weird state where he basically formed his own cult of his family. Anyway,
if you want to know how that story ends, go listen to that episode.
It's awful. So then Timothy McVeigh did a thing that made his opinion null and void by hurting almost 1,000 innocent people. He was arrested and charged immediately with 171 offenses, found guilty, sentenced to death, and brought to almost the front of the line of death row, being executed just 4 years later. Yeah. So that's all I'm going to say about that. It's part of history. I think we all know. If not, it's a very easy Google search. Now on to another state for more Line of Tragedy.
But first, a quick ad break.
Yes, look at you. We are now heading to Texas. And before I start the story, I want to debunk another one that's going around. Every time I read about the quote-unquote Line of Tragedy conspiracy, I see people talking about the Andrea Yates incident, in which a mother with schizophrenia drowned all 5 of her children in the bathtub and then calmly called and reported it to police. This happened in This happened in Houston, Texas. And Houston is not on the 35th latitude line. It's on the 29th. So this incident did not occur on the Line of Tragedy.
It was just a tragedy.
Right. Amarillo, Texas is where this next story takes place. And that is on the 35th latitude line. In 1997, the body of Gloria Ann Covington, 45, was found behind a YMCA building. She was half naked and stabbed in her upper body multiple times. She was found by a group of children.
Oh my God.
A few months later, Linda Jackson, 35, was found not too far away, partially naked, and stabbed multiple times. Both women were black sex workers and last seen to be getting into a light-colored pickup truck. Neither murder has been solved. Though, I'm pretty sure they probably weren't investigated very well either. Black sex workers. The creepy part here is that Dorian Thomas, one of the boys who found Gloria's body, disappeared a year later. He was only 9 years old and was out riding his bike when he disappeared.
Did he see
just
something
never
that he wasn't
came
supposed
home.
to see, maybe? Oh no.
To this day, he nor his bike have ever been found. Adding to the fact that he was one of the kids who found Gloria, Dorian's door was knocked on just a month before he went missing by a woman who was attacked on the street. She was a friend of Gloria and Linda, probably a sex worker herself, and had been beaten by a white man with red hair pulled back into a ponytail. She just happened to stumble up to Dorian's house and asked his mother for help.
Did she help?
Yes, but the man has never been identified, and police are unsure if he's even involved in Dorian's disappearance.
Oh
So,
my God.
How coincidental that Dorian found one of the victims, and then another possible victim found his house and was like, please help me.
I don't like that. And then he disappeared. Oh.
And then he's gone.
Oh, I don't like that. I have goosebumps all over my body.
Yeah, he's been gone.
And I was going to make a joke about him needing therapy after discovering that. Now I feel like an asshole.
He's been gone since 98. That's insane. Like, just gone. Just gone.
I hate that.
Yeah.
There's no coincidences in true crimes here.
I know,
Something's
it's
connected
so
there.
creepy. Amarillo is also the place where J. Kelly Pinkerton, 24, became the youngest person to ever be executed in Texas after he raped and brutally murdered Sarah Lawrence and Sherry Welsh when he was just 17 years old.
Jesus.
And it's the birthplace of Charles Albright, a serial killer known as the Eyeball Killer, as he plucked the eyeballs out of his victims.
I should have known that that's where you were going, but I'm...
Disgusting.
Me to eyes is like you to teeth. I can't do it.
Oh, no. No.
I'm sorry. I had to bring you to my level. Oh my god. No, leave them inside your face.
Yeah, I don't like that.
All of them. All of the face. Just leave it in there.
My last shallow dive case here actually takes place in Alecia, Greece. Stephen Cook went on holiday in Greece from Cheshire, England, with a group of friends in 2005. At only 20, this was Stephen's first time going on vacation without his family. The very first night there, on September 1st, 2005, Stephen and his friends went out to what was known as the Strip in Alecia, where many bars were situated on one main road and a few side streets.
Every city has one.
Exactly. At some point in the night, he decided he was ready to go back to the hotel, and he was separated from his friends. I'm not sure which happened first, honestly. He may have lost his friends in a crowd, and so then he decided to go back to the hotel, or maybe he was just tired, so he, left his friends
Willingly
to go
left
back
his
to the
friends.
hotel. Yeah, nobody knows.
This is giving me, the one conspiracy.
Lars? The
Yes!
Tank?
It's giving me Lars
Yes.
vibes. I don't like it.
Yes. Either way, Stephen was last seen alive when he was outside a bar on the Strip asking for directions back to his hotel. And then he just disappeared.
Oh, no.
Almost 12 years later, in early 2017, Stephen Cook's skeletal remains were found nearby where he was last seen at the bottom of a well.
Oh, my God.
The well wasn't just like a hole out in the open that he could have accidentally walked into. There was a small square building that surrounded the well, probably to prevent people from falling in. And this building was located on top of a cemetery.
What? I'm so sorry. I'm so into this, but I'm like...
Yeah, I'm about to start crying right now.
I am crying.
Who walks into a well building on a cemetery?
Why?
How?
Why?
Who, what, where, when, why, how? I don't know.
Ugh.
Of course no one was looking for remains there. Who, why? Who, why? Just all the questions again. The only reason Stephen Cook was found is because the cemetery had hired someone to clean the grounds, including that well building. And when they looked down, they saw a fucking human skeleton down there.
I'm sure they quit right on the spot. They're like, no, I'm good, thanks.
I would have. Yep. Because Stephen's remains had been completely decomposed, the cause of death and all other circumstances surrounding the death is still unknown. His family is happy that he came home and has been able to be laid to rest, but they are still searching for answers and hope that people keep sharing his story and that anyone with information would come forward. How fucking creepy. Also, if it wasn't made obvious, Alecia, Greece is located on the 35th degree latitude line.
And the creepiest cemetery in existence.
Yeah. Just as a little extra background info, other things located on the 35th degree latitude line is Visalia, California, where the Golden State Killer first hung out as the Visalia Ransacker. The Mojave Desert in Death Valley. Obvious creep factor.
Episode. They like to dump bodies there.
Yes, way too many bodies. More bodies than you can count have been buried at these locations. Also, the Hiroshima, which is where the world's first atomic bomb landed, and the quote-unquote suicide forest of Japan that
Stop.
Alecia just talked about in last month's Friday the 13th special. That's on the 35th degree latitude line.
No.
How fucking creepy.
That's so creepy, especially because people are, like, drawn to it.
Yes.
Like the weird, ugh, I don't like this.
It also travels through Algeria, Tibet, Iraq, Iran, Syria, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and South Korea. I don't mean to suggest that these places are necessarily creepy in any way, but we've all taken a history class and know that some pretty scary shit has happened in each of these places at some point in time. So,
Putting all of these on the list of places I will never be visiting. For this exact reason. Sorry, Greece, that town in Greece, you're up there.
yeah. There's obviously so many other cases that have happened on this specific latitude line that we may eventually get to. I actually have two bookmarked that I want to get to, but I just wanted to get into a few of the ones that are considered really quote-unquote creepy and see if you have any theories about this so-called line of tragedy. Do you think there's something scary, paranormal, evil, dark that's happening on this
All of the
latitude
above.
line? Yeah.
Something is permeating from the earth that is not okay.
It's terrifying.
I don't like it. I really don't. I'm gonna have
I don't like it
nightmares.
either. It's really fucking creepy. But at the same time, I think it's creepy that all of these things happen in the world in general.
Yes.
I think their location might be a coincidence.
People
There's a
like
whole bunch...
to make patterns, so.
Yeah, when you look up the line of tragedy, it's like, oh my gosh, the 35th degree latitude line. But then you can find things that are like, is the 33rd degree latitude another line of tragedy? Is the 37th another line of tragedy? And I'm like, can we just say that tragedies happen?
Everywhere?
Yeah.
But in one line? Ugh.
I mean, but like, again, like you just said, this is someone trying to make a line out of it. There are so many things that have happened outside of this line of tragedy. For instance, every single episode we've covered before this has happened outside of the line of tragedy.
For example, if you would like to refresh.
Yeah. Like 66 at least other things have happened outside of this line of tragedy. So it's I don't know. It's scary that so many are unsolved on the line of tragedy, but also how many unsolved cases are there in the world? There's just
thousands.
So many. So,
if you Wikipedia unsolved murders, it does it by every 5 years, and the list keeps going.
Yeah.
I couldn't pick what to do for my unsolved case, and that's where I decided to start, and then I got very overwhelmed, and I was like,
that's a
too
terrible
much,
place.
too much.
Oh my gosh.
I found one, but I backed out of there so fast. I was like, oh my god, no.
Yeah, I do think there's something creepy about the fact that Hiroshima and the suicide forest and
all of these hubs of multiple deaths.
Yeah, all of the war-ridden towns. Like, a lot of it is definitely scary, but I don't know if I think that there's a connection between them. Maybe, but I don't know.
I don't like it.
It's just a lot. Yeah.
One of the many mysteries of this very scary, scary globe that we live on.
Yep. I think so.
I can't. My brain is broken. You've done this to me 3 episodes in a row now, and I'm not okay with it.
Sorry. This is what happens sometimes.
The last time you broke my brain was your chimeras and humans. Now this. I can't handle it. Go listen to that bonus episode of Nay, guys, because it's wild. You will never look at forensic evidence the same way.
Yeah, DNA lies. We learned.
And, you know, we've taught our listeners so many things. DNA lies. A possible example of anyone going missing ever is sleepwalking.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot. It's interesting for sure, but I don't know if I feel like there's a connection. What do you think, listeners?
Let us know.
Is this a line of tragedy, or is this a world of tragedy? A tragic world.
That was so poetic.
I tried. I messed up at first.
That was really awesome. Thank you to whoever suggested that.
Clinton, of course.
Clinton!
Of course.
We love Clinton. That is wild. Thank you for that suggestion. Thank you for breaking my brain. I don't know what to do with my life now from here on forward, but
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I never know. Especially in photos.
Yeah.
It's always weird.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's like, do I straighten them or like, you know,
Cross them.
anyway. Strong hands. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway.
What day is it today?
Today is June 7th, and
Holy
I
shit.
don't have I know, right? Mercury retrograde is over. June 3rd. Woo.
We're almost there.
I don't have a super... Okay, I'm just going to say it. Okay? On this day, in 1965, keep that in mind. On this day in 1965, the U.S. Supreme Court hands down the ruling of Griswold versus Connecticut.
Okay.
It means a new law. This ruling made it so that each of the 50 states were no longer allowed to criminalize the use of contraceptives in marriage.
Oh, okay.
Can you believe that before 1965, it was illegal in some states to not want to get pregnant?
No.
To use birth control, it was
What the
illegal.
hell?
Yeah,
Yeah, how
never
convenient given.
I never realized this. And no wonder there's a stigma of women from long ago not wanting to have sex with their husbands. I wouldn't have sex with my husband if there was a strong possibility I would get pregnant every time.
Yeah, no kidding.
Who the fuck would want to have sex if every time you had sex you would like, I'm probably going to get pregnant?
Yeah, no, that's too many babies. We're not
Way
rabbits,
too many babies.
okay?
Yeah.
God. And I say that
That's
as somebody
terrifying.
that has 2 rabbits, so... God. What?
Yeah. I never realized that, like,
That's
it was
so
illegal
crazy.
to use birth control.
It was the 60s, but I mean, like, it wasn't
was
even
the
that long
60s.
ago. So it's
Yeah.
like, what? You did a great job.
Thank
we
you.
will be back next week with something equally as upsetting, I'm sure.
Yeah.
What a plug for our show, hey, right? Like, look at all of
I
this
know.
upsetting shit
But
that we talk about.
after that, I'm gonna revive us because my next episode after that is gonna be interesting in a good way.
We love you lots. Don't forget to
do.
leave those 5-star ratings so that you can watch Sierra and I get whacked in the face by a water bottle that we can't see with blindfolds on.
Also, who's gonna win June's free month of Patreon?
Yes, guys,
Well, I guess
come on.
July's. Month of June, put in all of your thingamajiggers, and in July you could win a free month of Patreon. Also, oh my gosh, it's June 7th. In 2 days, on June 9th, something awesome is coming to your ears on this feed. It's a bonus that you don't want to miss. So make sure you come back on Friday.
Totally. Was like, what the
Thursday?
fuck are you talking? It's a
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
It's a Thursday, and now I understand. I'm on the same page now. It's like, excuse me? Yeah, no, and it's also a little bit of a mind-bursty episode, so.
It is. Fun times.
Yeah, so go do those things, guys. We appreciate it. We can't plug the show and do this without you. Tell your friends, yell at people on the street, and
Steal their phones.
Yeah, steal their phones, go to Walmart, and we'll see you next week for a brand new episode. And in the meantime,
Keep
get
it
twisted. Thank you for listening to Twisted and Uncorked podcast. Remember to leave a 5-star rating and review wherever you are listening now. It really is the best way to spread the word. You can also check out all of our sources and materials, as well as photos for the episode, on our website at twistedanduncorked.com. And you can follow us on social media at Twisted and Uncorked or Twisted_pod on Twitter. Thank you so much for all of your love and support, and we will see you next Tuesday for a brand new episode. Cheers!